Hey guys, my name's Zoe. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, hi, welcome. Today I wanted to start a new segment that was specifically focused on COVID-19 related money problems, and specifically I wanted to talk today about unemployment and really deciphering what's going on right now and answering the most frequently asked questions with regards to unemployment. I really wanted to cover this material because honestly trying to decipher it myself has been really confusing over the past couple of weeks. And so I want to start this video with the list of questions that I'll be covering, just so you don't get to the end of this and you realize that none of the questions you actually had been answered here. So without further ado, let's get started on that. Also, if there's any information I don't get to in this video and that you'd like me to cover, or there's some topics that you really think were brushed over, let me know, and I'd be definitely down to make a part 2 to these question videos. So the main questions that I'll be covering in this video are: if I'm eligible, how much money will I be getting? Am I eligible? Who's eligible? What's the difference between the C.A.R.E.S Act, or the federal unemployment that's happening, and statewide unemployment? How long will I be getting money for? Do I have to apply to receive payments? When will I actually get these payments? Whether that's from the federal government or the state government. How do I know if I qualify for stimulus package payments? Which stimulus package, I'll go over this, is different than unemployment. And which years of income is this unemployment based off of? So let's just jump right into it. Places that this can get confusing that I wanted to touch on is really regards to eligibility. So I'm going to be focusing my time a lot on talking about eligibility with regards to federal programs, just because state programs vary state by state. So someone might be eligible in one state who's not eligible in another, and vice versa. So I would recommend to you, if you need to figure out or you're questioning whether or not you're eligible for state unemployment, to go look up your state's requirements of who qualifies. But I'll be giving you a general overview of what the federal government says about who is eligible. So if you are eligible, how much money should you be receiving? And again, this is going to be varying state by state. The whole goal of this benefits program is to attempt to replace the average worker's salary, or rather not salary, paycheck. So according to Century Foundation, and I'll be linking all of my research that I've done for these videos down in the description so you guys can follow along or look over the research that I've done on your own time. But according to Century Foundation, the average worker's weekly paycheck is around $1,000 a week. So unemployment is geared to replace roughly 40 to 45% of that. So it's not just completely replacing your entire paycheck, but rather trying to help boost you while you're in between work. So like I said, the average unemployment rate varies state by state. So in California, the maximum weekly unemployment is $450. But in New Jersey, it's $713, and in Alabama, it's $275. So all of these things show you that it varies a lot. Now, who's going to be getting the maximum amount and who's not? That's based off of your income. So if you're single, or you file in your taxes as a single person, so that means you're not married, and you hold a social security number, and your adjusted gross income is under $75,000, you will be receiving the maximum amount that your state will allow you to have. So in California, that'd be $450, New Jersey, that'd be $713. So if you meet that criteria, you should get the maximum amount of unemployment benefits. Now, with regards to how much I'll be getting, that question, this then breaks down or gets into the difference between state and federal unemployment. So, like I said, states vary state by state, but the C.A.R.E.S Act, in the C.A.R.E.S Act, legislation passed by our federal government, it has added an extra $600 a week onto whatever you're making back from the state. So if you, regardless if your state unemployment is $713 or $450 or $275, you're going to be getting $600 on top of that every week from the federal government. Now, that will be dispensed by the state government. So it's money from the federal government, but it will show up wherever you're tracking your state unemployment. That $600 should also show up there. So let's just go over a little example. This example I found through the New York Times. So let's say a worker in New York City was making $1,100 a week and then went on unemployment due to COVID-19. The maximum state unemployment per week she can get is $504. So she'll be making $504, and then on top of that, from the federal government C.A.R.E.S Act, she's going to be getting $600 on top of that. So her total compensation per week is going to be $1,104. So both of those things combined. States have the option of providing that amount of money in like installments, or giving you that full $600 all at once. But regardless of whatever program your state chooses to use, they should be doing it on a weekly basis, whatever that is. Okay, let's get into who is covered and who is not. So this unemployment program, state and federal, covers those who are self-employed and part-time workers. This is huge. So if you are working part-time or you're self-employed regularly, you are eligible for this benefit. A good baseline read on understanding who's eligible or not is really if you were unemployed or you're partly unemployed and cannot work for a variety of coronavirus related reasons, you are most likely eligible for unemployment benefit. Another good little list of qualifying situations that would allow you to receive unemployment is if your workplace closed due to a public health emergency, you had to quit your job because of coronavirus, you can't work because you're a caregiver and the person you care for, their school closed or their program closed and you have to stay home to take care of them, you are eligible for unemployment. And those who were supposed to be starting a job but now can't because of coronavirus related things are eligible. I did want to go over who is excluded from the bill. So people who are working from home, who can still get a paycheck from their work, are excluded. Those receiving paid sick leave or paid family leave are not qualified, and also people who are new entrants into the workforce. This I found interesting, and it might be related to taxes, that you've never filed your taxes before, so there's nothing for the IRS to base what you should be getting unemployment for. Are also not eligible. So if you're new to the workforce and you've never had a job before, you can't receive this, which is kind of weird to me. I think this is a good segue into what year of taxes is this unemployment based off of. And so this was a huge benefit to me. It's based off of your 2019 taxes. So last year's, whatever money you made last year, that's what the IRS is going to use to figure out how much money you should be gaining from state unemployment. So that means if you haven't filed your 2019 taxes because our tax day has been pushed back because of coronavirus, it's in your benefit to file your taxes, especially if you're making more, you made more money last year than maybe 2018 or something like that. That's what they're going to be taking for reference. So that was a really big benefit for me. I thought that this was going to be based off of what I was making currently when I lost my job. And right now I had been working part-time for about $200 a week before I got laid off because of coronavirus. And I was like, okay, like not really expecting to be getting that much money, but it's based off of 2019. And in 2019, I worked at Industrial Light and Magic as a production assistant for 8 months full time. I didn't go to school. And so I made money and I filed for taxes. And so that's what this is based off of. So I'm getting the $450 maximum from California, which is where I live, every week, plus the $600 because the $600 is now in effect. You know, it'd been delayed, but now it's starting to roll in. I'm getting both of those things when I was making $200 a week. So that's how these things can come in clutch for you. That's how you get this program to work in your benefit, is in certain situations like that. I know that's not a thing that you can really plan for at all, but file your 2019 taxes, and that's the money that this unemployment will be based off of. Okay. So what's the difference between the C.A.R.E.S Act and state unemployment? So the C.A.R.E.S Act has two little separate things. So there's the stimulus package, which we'll be going over, but people have been hearing about $1,200 coming their way. That's the stimulus package. Then there's the federal unemployment, which is the $600 that's happening on top of your state unemployment. The $600 a week, you don't have to do anything special for. You don't have to apply in any special way to get that. That should just automatically be added to your state unemployment. Now, to get that $600 though, you need to have filed for state unemployment. So you do have to actually go onto the website. If you type in your state, you know, like Arkansas unemployment website, that should come up, and fill out those forms. You'll be getting a few things in the mail. It takes about 4 weeks to start this program running, at least for California it did, and that was, I filed March 14th, probably the earliest you really could, and it took 4 weeks for me to start getting paid. So there will be a delay, but what should be happening for both the $600 and for your state unemployment is that you should be getting this retroactively, meaning that even though you're not getting paid for the week of March 20th, you get your first payment April 14th, it should be for March 20th. And you should get a payment for every week that you could not work, regardless if it took a long time to get there, okay? So retroactive, meaning they're going to go back and pay you for those weeks that you weren't receiving any money just because bureaucracy takes a long time, and it took them a minute to get you the money that you needed. Another good question is, how long will I be getting money for? And so I'm really actually unclear on, and I think it's kind of up in the air, how long state unemployment is going to last, just because we don't know how shelter in place is going to work and how long shelter in place is going to be going on for, when the economy can really start going again, and when people can get jobs. That's all really up in the air right now. So there's not a clear date, to me at least, when state unemployment could end. I think its maximum date of like use is the end of 2020. It could end a lot earlier than then. We just don't really know. But the $600 you're getting from the federal government, that has been stated that the maximum cap for that is July 31st. And that could also end earlier. That could end in 3 weeks from now. But that is the latest it could go that you can receive $600. So if you're trying to plan how much money you're going to be getting, that's the last date that you could be receiving $600 from. Okay, let's talk stimulus package. Again, this stimulus package is the $1,200 installment that had been talked about. So the payments will be $1,200. These payments will be a one-time payment. It will not be reoccurring in any way like our state or federal unemployment. One-time fee. You also don't need to do anything special for this. This will be a direct deposit into your account. You don't have to apply for it. The IRS should have all of your bank information available and will be directly depositing that into your account. When will the payment arrive? So about 3 weeks ago, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said that in about 3 weeks, people should be receiving it. So when this video uploads, people should be starting to see $1,200 drop into their checking account. Who is eligible for the stimulus package? So they say adults, right? They say adults will be receiving this $1,200. There is a caveat. If you're a dependent, you don't receive this $1,200. So a dependent is someone who has been claimed as a dependent by their parents or a caretaker on that caretaker or parents' taxes. So on average, people in the early 20s, mainly up to like 24, are usually claimed as a dependent. So if you're in college, you're most likely a dependent. And even though you're over the age of 18 and you're technically an adult, you will not be getting the stimulus package. So I won't be getting the stimulus package. My parents claim me as a dependent. I'm 22. I won't be getting the $1,200. But parents who have children, it says 16 and under, but I think it's if they have any dependent. You get $500 per dependent. So if you really wanted to go reach out to your parents and ask them for that $500, I guess you could do that. But yeah, if you're a dependent, you don't get this. But if you're an adult, you're not a dependent, you should qualify for the $1,200 stimulus package. If you're concerned that the IRS has the wrong information or that you didn't get it and you should have gotten it, what will happen is, right, so they'll technically, send or disperse the money to you even if you haven't received it. Then the IRS, a few weeks after that disbursement, will send you something in the mail that says, hey, we gave you this amount of money, we put it in this account, kind of a confirmation of what's gone down, so that you can look at that, track, and see if, it went into a different account than I thought it did. Or if it says that it went somewhere and you don't see it there, then once you've received that piece of paper in the mail, you should be able to go contact the IRS and figure that out separately. Next question, how do I apply to receive payments? So I've kind of touched on this in a couple of the other questions, but for state unemployment, you need to go on their website and apply for unemployment to receive benefits. Federal benefits should be an automatic add-on once you've applied for state unemployment. Stimulus package, you don't need to apply for. So I think that covers all the questions that I wanted to go over in this video. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or you think some information I gave you is incorrect or you want more clarifying answers to any of this, please comment it down below and I'd be happy to discuss or create additional content. I'm going to be creating a video about student loans in coronavirus times soon, so look out for that. But otherwise, thanks so much for watching. I'm Zoe, this is Found Finances, and I hope you tune in next time. Thanks so much.